Well, good morning, Zums. What's going on? Oh, you're emotionally deprived and sleep deprived of the mental health illness folk. What's going on, guys? This is your zombie out here in Roseman. Maybe John C. What's going on? You know, times like this, it's like I would hear Robert Goulet singing in my head, and this morning it is. Why would I say that? It's because I made a decision of not doing the last day, but saying that Tuesday was the last day. So depressed about the damn thing and so damn stupid about it that I decided not to go back in. And part of me is saying, you shouldn't do this. I mean, you should just go back over there. Okay, why? Why? We're going to be reading a little more about Man La Mancha, and that was me for most of my life. I've been chasing at windmills, mentally and physically. Windmills are what you make out of them, out of what you're seeing these days. And sometimes those windmills are just windmills, and other days they are dragons. But coming to this decision this morning, it's not exactly the thing I had in mind. Not like Tuesday. A notion hit my head during that time. The most depressing notion of all. And I was trying to dismiss it. COVID has taken a hell of a lot out of us and tried to fight like hell to stay over there. Just to prove something to someone. And maybe it was all just to prove something to someone. Some days are the last days and you regret like crazy and eat it up. I suppose this is going to be that day for me to hate myself throughout the rest of eternity. Why? Because in a way, I feel like I've given up on a lot of things I've done in my life. That doesn't mean I'm going to commit suicide. No, don't even start getting that damn idea in your heads. But forcing a break this early, I don't know. I just kept thinking that karma is going to be dropping the shoe on me any second now because of that decision I've made. One way or another, karma usually does. And for someone who's trying to take care of himself the best he can, I'm always feeling guilty about making the right or wrong decision sometimes. But that's what happens when you have a conscience going on inside of you. Of course, I know my mother and my brother would be pissed off at me. Maybe God, in a way, is pissed off at me. Probably. I woke up this morning and I was fighting my way to sleep all the damn time. And I just didn't want to fall asleep for the last time in class. I just didn't want to deal with that stigma. I didn't want to deal with the depression of walking on to class for the last day of the semester. This is just a semester, though. I just didn't want to face the loss of the guys I've been trying to get to know over there. Sometimes there'll be a few students or teachers or both that you get close to. you start to develop relations, and hurts like hell when you have to say goodbye to them for a while or forever. And I just can't stand dealing with that. It hurts too damn much. But that's the thing that you deal with in college. They're there, they're gone, just like regular life. What's the difference? It's not like I've been working in temp jobs. And in temp jobs, I get close or try to or get acquainted, and then you're out of there again. You're somewhere else. I've already made a decision, a commitment to come back to next term. That's no problem. I may see the professors on campus every once in a while. That's no problem either. At least I hope not. Because some professors actually left a mark on me that there are no words to say or describe it. Like a roughshod extended academia family. I've had history professors. I've had humanity professors. I've had political science professor. Sociology, health. God rest your soul, Mr. Blue. Some professors, when you deal with them as peers, when you finally look at them face to face as an adult, not just a not just a professor, but you're looking at someone who's chewed up enough dirt. You finally get a lot of respect for some of these guys. A few of them are older than I am, and I still have respect for them. I got an awe. I have awe for them. A few of them are a lot younger than I am. So I feel like the old man of the class at that time. It still doesn't diminish the respect I would have for their profession or what they're doing. And I look at the people around me who keep attending the classes, sometimes exuberant youth, confused as hell, scared that they're not going to be able to make it past day one without something else happening to them. That's why I almost made it like a little mission for myself. Keep going as much as I can and keep helping out if possible. Lend some advice, help, and convince someone to stay and stick around. And when they do, I'm grateful for it because now we can pick each other's brains out for things. And then when its day's done and the class is gone, it becomes that much more lonelier and depression. I've been trying to avoid things like that. I've had too much of it in my lifetime. Too much of it. But that's the risk you do and you take when you form relationships and anywhere else that you go to, isn't it? I'm hearing my dog snore. She's groaning in her sleep. I'll be hearing more of that this summertime. And here's the weird thing about it. You know what last day sucks? Last day of a class sucks. It means now I gotta wait about nearly 2 months before the next term comes in. I get so geared up about going back to college that the summertime is not really a relaxing period for me. I hate to say this to every professor out there. This video might be passed around to every professor of Antelope Valley College, Lancaster, California. to let these guys know that I'm chomping at the bits during the summertime because I want to get back into it again. I never liked last day. I never like saying goodbye to anybody or everybody else over there. I'm going to slink out of there. I'm going to slink out of there. But I don't do it willingly and I don't do it happily. I don't like last day. I don't like losing people in my life. Call it crazy if you must. I don't care. When I make connections with different people left and right, I think they're still family one way or another. I may not be coming over to your house for dinner, but at least in general, maybe an extended family. It hurts. It hurts to say goodbye in classes, and it hurts to say goodbye to the students. Because I don't know which one's going to be dropping out of life, period. I don't know if the other one's going to be dropping out because of graduation. Or they're just too tired to make that finish line. I feel like I'm doing the same thing because when I woke up this morning, that's when it hit me. But then also the other feeling of feeling guilty. Guilty that I'm trying to take care of myself at this point over here. And I'm doing something I think. And maybe something that was driving me originally was saying, no, you still got one more day. Yeah, and I'm not using it. I've said enough. I've done enough. I don't want to deal with the pain. I don't want to deal with the loss. I don't want to deal with that kind of depressional situation that I've dealt with every semester, except for the ones online. Because I wasn't there physically to shake the hands of professors and feeling whether or not I'm going to be seeing these guys again or not. Or even some of the students have been there long enough, they should have been transferred out. And I made some temporary connections, but still. And that's the thing I hate about school situations like this. Getting older and older at this point over here, seeing the younger kids coming in and feeling more and more like an old toad in there. An old toadstool. Something that needs to be plucked out among the youth over there. There's something to say about maturity and age and getting old in a place like that. Something should be like a veneer or something. It's kind of hard to put other things into words, especially when you feel trying to feel close to some of the people over there. I got a lot of respect for the professors. I got respect for the facility over there, administration, and the students that keep popping in and out. They keep staying a semester or two in a certain area, and then they're gone. By working, and they're no longer there. You see new people all the time. When I worked retail a long time ago, when I worked right after I got kicked out of Pierce College back in '87, I had to bust my ass. I had to go into the realm of retail hell. And he's there. I know if you're going to be retiring, they'll say it, and then you're gone. And if you're not cutting it, they cut your ass out. And I had to deal with that too. The thing is, when I was going to college back in the mid 80s, these feelings I have currently in 2022 is not the same. It's not the thought patterns back in 1987 because thought patterns were changed to where a kid, a teenager didn't always ask for hot rock. I demonstrated it too damn badly and too much. I did. I've had a lot of experiences that sometimes I'm afraid even sharing them with the youth, or let alone peers my age. But the thing of it is, I was grateful for some of those days as well. Not for the days of K through 12. Maybe through the days of the early college days that made me realize how important education was to a growing mind. If only his heart was pure, his mind was open, he was ready for the adventure. Yeah, I wasn't. Not at that age. I was ready for other adventures that were never meant to be. I was hell bent on those, but not of today's. Today is just going through the classes and seeing what I've missed. Achieving something I should have done a while ago. Just just to see if I can. If my mother, God rest her soul, had been watching me from home, and my brother too, they would have been proud of me. When I do the online Zoom classes, you'll notice that I have the pictures on and the cabinet right behind me. The picture down below is the same one I have on my phone in color of my brother and my mother. And then there's ugly. And departed as they are physically, inside they're not. I just miss the living crap out of them and mourn them like crazy and grieve like I've never grieved before. And if they were still alive, maybe they would still understand. I'm not giving up on certain things. I'm just trying to take care of myself. Back then, I didn't know how. Today, I'm an older but wiser old fart. I'm doing what I can for right now. I didn't understand what it meant to form attachments to certain professors at colleges. Maybe one or two. Maybe a few of them I had in interest. And I know they're gone, retired, and dead. And they were good professors, too. Of English literature that flew me through Woodward's and Coleridge, Frost and Burns. I remember the names, not exactly most of the works, except for Coleridge's rhyme. He prayeth best to love us best. All creatures great and small, for the dear Lord that made us, he made and loveth all. It was something that kept close to my heart. Coleridge's character of the mariner was me as well in life. And I carry that distinction. You see, dear Professor, Romanticism is a delicate flower. and it blooms where you least expect it. And appreciate the beauty as it is. For another instance, well, that's what they have for fertilizer for. Have to educate and give nutrients to the younger generation. Our time, bloomed as it is, has to give vital nutrients to the ones that are coming right after us. We bloom and then we're gone. Except if you're the death flower. I'm surprised I still have a nose left. I haven't had the displeasure. I'm not looking forward to it either. Or going to. I keep my nose intact. I don't want it melted off. To my classmates of English 231, that'll be the final video, I guess, until I get that other creation from Madhouse made. I could have said hell, but we've already been through our own individual one, so Madhouse works anyway. I am not going to be going into a Robert Goulet video of singing about anything modeling or depressing. Just a final note to you guys. You guys have been the best. The discussions we've had over the last few weeks, I appreciate your opinions and I appreciate you guys. Let's just hope next term we can still meet one way or another. And as I said before, Professor Tarafella, I'll never get that name right, so I keep calling you Professor T. It'd be worse if I start calling you by your first name. It'd be disrespectful. So from one old fart to another old fart. Alright, Santi. You still got that spot you're still fighting for. And you still have to talk to Professor Jennings. No, I'm not going to use her first name, Professor. You still got that spot at the round table you're still fighting for, so keep at it, young Padawan. Look, I can still do it with both hands. How about that one? This used to be, well, actually still is, a long time ago that Leonard Nimoy, as a young kid, was in a synagogue. And while the rabbi was giving the benediction, people had to turn their backs for this one. And young Leonard Nimoy saw the rabbi doing this. Without the alarm. Without the alarm. The young rabbi, well, actually, young Nimoy saw this. Just the hands flat out, but in the Vulcan handshake, in the hand salute. So the idea stuck with his head, and it was used in Star Trek, and it's immortalized now. But for me, shalom. Coming from a Methodist.